Welcome back. Thanks for continuing to be with us. That's our top focus here on WION as Battleground Karnataka has thrown up a clean victory for the BJP as the trends have suggested all along. This is a little after 8 a.m. when the early trends first started trickling in. The Congress had cause for celebration. Early trends indicated that the Congress had the edge in Karnataka, but it was just a matter of 2 hours before the tables were turned in this state. The numbers quickly turned in the BJP's favour, and by 11 a.m. the picture was clear. The Bharatiya Janata Party had crossed the halfway mark and is now set to form the government in the southern Indian state. B.S. Yeddyurappa, who has served as the state's chief minister in the past, is all back to reign supreme. Let's get in further perspectives from our esteemed panel joining us. Let me first get in Dr. Harshvardhan joining us from the BJP's headquarters this afternoon. Dr. Harshvardhan, this is of course a resounding victory also for the Narendra Modi wave, which a lot of people had talked about was diminishing in the run-up to the elections over the last few weeks as well. And now it will be safe to assume that the Modi formula has worked yet again?
Thank you so much for your good wishes. I think Narendra Modi ji is not a formula. He is a phenomenon. I think he is probably the most committed and the most sincere politician in this country who really wants to deliver and who is so thoroughly committed for the welfare of the poor people of this country, and who has brought so many schemes and has been implementing them with so much of sincerity and honesty and commitment, and is also ensuring that each and everything is so thoroughly implemented. People have accepted his Rashtra Dharam, and people have rejected the divisive politics of the other parties.
What would you say to the Congress, which is crying foul, saying that electronic voting machines have been tampered with, and the same argument that the Congress had earlier on as well is being repeated?
I think it's very unfortunate that a party as old as Congress talks like this, and when they win, they never talk about it. When they won the Punjab election, why did they not talk about these electronic machines? So it's very unfortunate. I don't have to comment on this. I think this is some sort of an intellectual bankruptcy of the Congress party if they talk like this.
All right, Dr. Harshvardhan, I'll just come back to you. Also joining us is Ami Kazmin, South Asia Bureau Chief of Financial Times, joining us on the broadcast. Let me begin by asking you for your initial reaction to what the numbers are telling you.
I mean, you know, it's quite interesting to see that, in fact, in the vote share terms, the Congress outperformed the BJP with a slightly higher vote share, and yet that has translated into such a massive imbalance of seats, with the BJP getting, a vastly higher number of seats than the Congress. So I find that quite interesting because, well, I guess it's like the U.S. Electoral College, but still, it's something that gives you pause. But obviously, this is a very major victory for the BJP to win back this southern state. It's the only southern state that it had previously governed. The South is an area where it's very keen to make headroads, and it believes that its presence as a government in Karnataka will allow it to do that and further kind of move into the southern states where it really has been struggling to establish its presence. And of course, it's a very major blow for the Congress because it leaves it in charge of just 3 tiny states whose, Punjab, Pondicherry, and Mizoram, with their collective population being just about 30 million. I added it up this morning.
Dr. Harshvardhan, let me get you in for a final remark before we let you go. So the stage is, of course, set for the 2019 battle. Is this a precursor of what lies in store, according to you?
I think, according to me, even before this election result had come, I am pretty confident that the 29 election results are already decided. People of this country have seen Narendra Modi ji from very close quarters. You see, he took very hard decisions also, but everyone in this country appreciated because no one doubts his intentions. Everybody feels that he really wants to change this country. He really wants to work for the welfare of the people, and he really wants to give relief to those people who have been deprived of it in the last 70 years. This is a truth, and I think truth always prevails. People have appreciated the power of truth, and this truth will remain unbeatable even in 2019.
All right, Dr. Harshvardhan, appreciate very much joining us on the broadcast. Amy, let me also come to you with the aspect of what the Congress has really missed on, where the Congress really faltered, and what, according to you, was the disconnect really for the Congress?
Look, I mean, let me say straight off that I did not go to Karnataka and kind of hit the ground. Sorry, I'm not sure who that question.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, yeah, I did not actually go onto the ground, in Karnataka. So I can't really say exactly what went wrong for them. Obviously, the fact that the geographical spread of their votes is more widely spread. But I think the very glaring obvious thing that one sees is that if the BJP has indeed won control of the state with just 36% of the vote, this resounding message is that if the JDS and the Congress had allied together, they would have likely or possibly been able to beat the BJP. And I think the message that I would assume that this is going to send to various players in the opposition is that the only way to kind of have any prospect is to unite. And I think this is likely to raise the incentives for opposition parties to try to get together ahead of the 2019 election. Now, whether they can actually do that is, completely another question. But so when we talk about a BJP landslide, it is a landslide in terms of seats, apparently, but it's definitely not a landslide in terms of the vote share. So it does suggest that a united opposition may be able to defeat the BJP. So I think that's one thing that, is interesting to me about this.
Interesting point that you raise, Amy. Stay on with me. Also getting in Dr. Chandan Mitra, who's in the studio with us. First up, it is going to be the usual discourse of the Congress trying to say that it was not the Congress's fault. That is, of course, going to be their argument. But what, according to you, has really made Congress suffer the defeat that it has seen in one of its last major strongholds in the country?
Well, I think it's the Modi factor, very frankly. Because the Congress ruled Karnataka, I don't think they did a particularly bad job. So, but then, they did not have a credible leader. Siddaramaiah had his strengths. He led a backward class grouping, and I think he tried his best. But at the national level, or at the larger leadership level, Congress completely lacks charismatic and credible leaders. There's a lack of credibility of the Congress leadership, which I think made people decide that there's really no alternative to Narendra Modi ji and his supporters, including tried and tested leaders like Mr. Yeddyurappa and others in the BJP. So the leadership vacuum in the Congress. And also, second most important point is that the Congress as an organization has virtually kind of, I would say, been wiped out. Congress workers are not enthused, and that's not just in Karnataka, it's across the country.